You can really see the light coming through now. Yeah. Hi guys, I'm Kenzie if you haven't been here before, and if you have, welcome back. Today I'm wanting to talk to you guys about my first ever test knit, which I'm very excited about. I am test knitting a sweater for Live Alvin, or Alvin Knit, and I just found out about 2 weeks ago that I got accepted for it, and I'm very excited. I found out while I was on vacation that I got accepted for the test knit, and I ordered the yarn right away. And because I live in the US and I decided to use Knitting for Olive, I just got the yarn today. So yesterday would have been 2 weeks since it started, I think. Maybe a little more. But anyway, so the test knit has been going on for a little over 2 weeks, and unfortunately I have not been able to participate up until today. I did join the Slack chat and I'm starting to get to know some of the other people that are in the test knit, which is really exciting because they all seem really nice and really talented. But this is my first ever test knit, and I'm a little bit nervous because I've never done it before, but also the pattern that I'm test knitting seems fairly straightforward. I haven't looked too closely at it yet, but I'll put a picture of it up on the screen. This sweater, the sample that she made, I thought was really gorgeous, which is why I applied for the test knit. I've been wanting to do a test knit for a while now, but I wanted to wait until I found a pattern that I really liked to do it. So I've been applying to a few, but only ones that I would make if it wasn't even part of a test knit. So for fall, if you've seen my fall knit patterns video, I definitely wanted to make a striped sweater, some form of neutral colors, like either black and like a cream or like a beige and a brown, something like that. So when I saw the post for this test knit, I got really excited because although it maybe wasn't perfectly aligned to what I was picturing, I did really like this pattern. And I've made some of Liv's patterns in the past. I made her Summerwood tee, which has been in some of my last videos, some of my recent videos, if you guys wanted to check those out. And it was a really good experience. It was fairly straightforward, and it was my first all-over lace pattern, and I didn't think it was too difficult. She uses a different yarn than I chose to use. I just went with Knitting for Olive Heavy Merino, which is what I ordered, and that's what I want to show you guys today. Very excited. I don't remember the name of the yarn that she's using specifically. I know a lot of other test knitters are using it as well, and I chose the colors Oatmeal and Brown Bear. So I'm literally going to copy the pattern, like the color pattern that she did for her sample, because I just really like that and I want that for myself. For the collar and the darker stripes, I'm going to use this, which is Brown Bear by Knitting for Olive, and this is Heavy Merino. This comes in 50-gram skeins of 125 meters, so I bought quite a few of these. I think I got like 8 or something. I want to say I got 8 or 9, because I plan on using this for the collar and then also for the cuffs of the sleeves and the ribbing on the bottom of the sweater. And then this is the Oatmeal one that I got. I think this is going to be really cute. It is quite close to my skin tone, which usually doesn't look great on me, but I think in combination with the brown, because the brown I feel like is very contrasting to my skin tone since I'm very fair, I think those two together will look really cute. And I don't think it will wash me out too much because there will be that like border in between of the darker color. But yeah, the Sable sweater, I'm very excited for this. I just wanted to kind of show you guys the yarn that I got and give you a little rundown of what my plans are for this. I do have a little bit of anxiety going into this test knit since this will be my first, and I just really don't want to disappoint anybody because I am still somewhat of a beginner, but I don't know. Liv chose me for a reason is what I'm telling myself, so she thinks I can do it, so I can. And like realistically, I've made sweaters before that have a similar shoulder construction, a different neckline, but similar construction, I think. I'm knitting size 3, I believe. So that's about a medium. I have about a 91 centimeter bust, so whatever that equates to. But this sweater is supposed to have a pretty decent amount of positive ease. So in order to make sure I don't end up with a situation like the Summerwood tee that I made before, I do knit pretty tightly, and I didn't do a gauge swatch for that, which is completely on me. But it ended up fitting a lot tighter than it was intended to. And I'm happy with how it turned out. I think it's still very much my style with that tighter fit, but for this I definitely want it to be oversized. I love the oversized look for sweaters, so definitely gonna do a gauge swatch. So I'll probably update you guys when I do that. Otherwise, once I kind of have the collar and the yoke started, then I'll probably update you guys again. But I just kind of wanted to take you guys with me through this whole process so I can kind of document my first test knit. But yeah, I'm very excited to get started and yeah, just see how this goes. So I will see you guys once I get to the next step. Okay, so I made some gauge swatches, and the recommended needle size for this project is a size 7. I have come to the conclusion that I am a tight knitter. So I did a swatch with size 7 needles just to see, and it was quite small. And it's a, what is it for the gauge? It's a 13 stitch by 20 row gauge. And I think when I did the size 7 needles, it was like, I only did 13 stitches. I think it was around 7 or 8 centimeters. Even blocked, it wasn't much bigger. So I tried again with an 8, and that one also was too small. So I went up to a size 9. And it's close unblocked. I actually didn't make a swatch for the size 9 needles, but I think it's going to work out. It is a little bit tight still. This is what I have so far. So these are the German short rows on top, and then right now I'm just working it flat. I have a few more rows to go. Okay, so this is the back. I have to make the front piece and then they're joined in the round, I believe. I think stitches are picked up along this side, but these are the German short rows, and then a little bit of the next section of the back. But yeah, I'm okay with how it's coming out so far. Again, like the gauge is a little bit tight, but I think if I really block it, like when I blocked it before, it wasn't like, I put it in water for maybe like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, like it wasn't very long. So I think if I did it for like a full half hour, and I also didn't use any type of detergent with it, so I'm thinking it should be okay. I don't want to go up too much bigger because the stitches are like, you can kind of see the light behind it, like they're not super tight, and I would prefer them to kind of look like this because I don't want it to be too see-through, but I know this is supposed to be a little bit of a lighter weight sweater, which I think it will be because the yarn is like pretty airy. I feel like, especially compared to cotton, if I had cotton with the same like meterage, yardage of this, I think that would be a lot heavier. It is pretty light. One thing about this yarn though, so this is the Knitting for All of Heavy Merino, I did not expect it to be quite so scratchy. I've never actually worked with wool, like straight wool before. I've used alpaca wool mixed with a polyamide, I think, and that was really soft, but that was for crochet projects. I don't know how that would knit, but it was very soft. This is a little more scratchy, and I understand now why when people talk about their knits being scratchy, I understand it. But I'm a little bit bummed about that, and I'm sure it's just like a wool thing, but I feel like the regular merino wool, the fingering weight one that I have for my other project I'm working on, it doesn't feel like it's like this scratchy. It actually feels pretty soft, so I don't know what that's about, but yeah, this is what I have so far. I'm using a size 9 needle, which is a 5.5 millimeter needle. So this is a whole millimeter larger than what is suggested. But I will say this. So when I was done with this first section, from here to here was supposed to measure 9 centimeters, which it is, like exactly. So I'm thinking once it's blocked, we should be good. Yeah. I don't know. I'm pretty happy with it so far. I like the colors together. I think that they look really nice. I don't know if it shows up that great on camera right now, but it's I like the dark brown and the tan. Maybe if I you can really see the light coming through now. Yeah. Hey guys. So I have to start this over because I don't know why. I should have checked this before I kept going, but for the German short rows, you have to make double stitches, like to go back and forth, like typical German short rows. Um, and the last few things that I've made have not been sweaters. They've been like tank tops or cardigans. So they don't usually have German short rows. I think I've only done it like once, to be honest. I knit the double stitches as if they were two separate stitches, so that created increases. So yeah, I just finished like the third section. I just ripped out the second, or there was a third stripe here that I just ripped out because I counted my stitches and it had way too many, because I was adding a stitch for every row that I was doing for this first section with the German short rows. So yeah, I am going to rip all of this out. I'm gonna frog the whole thing, which sucks because I spent a good portion of yesterday and today working on it, but yeah, it's gonna really bother me if I don't fix it. Also, like, the stitch count is way off, so it would, yeah, I have to. But yeah, so I've learned double stitches are knit as one stitch on the next row. I also did message the designer in the chat that we have for the test knit, just letting her know that it might be beneficial for beginners to have that. It does say to resolve all of the double stitches, just like knit every stitch or purl every stitch. But at least for me, like I don't know if I'd consider myself a beginner at this point. I mean, I guess I am. I started like almost 7 months ago now, so I wouldn't say I'm like a super beginner. I'd say I'm like intermediate at this point, but I'm still like learning new things all the time, and that just wasn't one thing that registered to me, and that's on me for not going and looking that up and making sure I was doing it correctly. In the pattern, she did say how to make a double stitch, which was really helpful, but it didn't specify how to resolve that, and that's like on me for just assuming that I was supposed to knit them separately, which like doesn't really make sense. But yeah, I just gave her that as a suggestion just in case other people thought the same way that I did, because I'm really bummed that I have to rip it all out. But I'm going to also take this opportunity because I didn't block this with the, actually maybe I'll just check right now. I didn't make a swatch with the size 9 needles. I'm thinking see, I'm just worried it's gonna be too gapey if I go bigger, but maybe not. Like, that's not so bad. It's like 3 stitches too tight right now. 13 stitches is like, what, 8 centimeters, I think? I prefer to measure it in centimeters versus inches, but let's see. It's like 16 and a half, 17 stitches, but that's before blocking. So if I stretch it out a little bit, how many is that? Because that's probably closer to what it'll be when it's blocked. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna stick with the 9 or the size 9 needles then, because I think once it's blocked, it should get to the 13 stitch gauge, and that's not too bad. Like, this versus this. I don't know. Plus the yarn, I don't know if it's gonna like grow a little bit. I don't know exactly how that's gonna work because I haven't really blocked anything. but I do need to be on gauge for this since it's the test knit. So yeah, that's my sad update. Hey guys, okay, so I'm back with an update. This is what I have so far. I fixed my mistakes. So I started over. I kept making stupid mistakes, which was really annoying, but I finally have joined in the round. Yeah. I really like the colors together. I think it's really cute. But it hasn't been giving me any other issues. So that's good. Thankfully, I'm actually really glad that this is the case since it's my first test knit. But because I started a couple weeks later than a lot of the people who already had the yarn or could get it a lot quicker than I could, they've already pointed out a lot of the mistakes or like typos or anything like that. So, and Liv keeps a running list of all of the ones that are noticed. So it's really easy to just kind of look at the list and be like, oh, okay. And then I'll make a little note so that when I get to that part, I know that it's like incorrect or it should be this or whatever. So that's really nice. I've mostly been pointing out more like language based suggestions, I think. Like there was one spot for one of the stripes. I think it was right here because right here you're still working back and forth, and then right here is where you join in the round. So it said the pattern alternates 12 rows of the lighter color and then 18 of the darker color, like this. So yeah, right here when you're knitting flat and then you join in the round, it says to knit 18 rows in stockinette. At first I was thinking it was 18 additional rows, but then I was like, no, because the stripes, like they're the same size throughout. So like obviously like you'd count these ones where it's still knit flat. So I just like let her know, just like it might be helpful to say like knit however many additional rows instead of, or like this many rows total instead of like just knit like 10 rows and stockinette. Just because, yeah, hopefully that makes sense. She understood it and she's really grateful that I pointed that out. So I guess a lot of the things that I suggest are more along those lines, just like not so much numbers based, but more like language based, I guess. And I think that comes from my job. I work as basically a technical writer. I do communications, so my whole job is about editing stuff like that. So I feel like I maybe notice it a little bit more than other people. But yeah, I'm really happy with how it's coming along. I thought that based off of the picture that is with the pattern, like the picture that Liv's been posting online, that it would be a little more oversized. I think she said somewhere what size she made for the sample. So I don't know, she might have just made hers really oversized. But I mean, this will still be oversized, especially when I block it. It's like a drop shoulder. But just in the picture, the shoulder drops to like down here. So I was thinking that that's what this would be. And I was like, is my gauge off still? And it still is a little bit small, but I haven't blocked it. I encountered another issue because to do the sleeves, I don't like using DPNs and I don't like using magic loops. So I have the Chiaogu twist shorties, and I have the red pack for the minis and then the blue pack for the small size, but I don't have the large one. And I didn't think of that before starting this because it was meant to be knit on a size 7, which I have the minis or the shorties for. So I didn't think it would be an issue, but because I went up to size 10 to fit gauge, I don't have size 10 shorties, and I don't really do sleeves with DPNs. I also don't have size 10 DPNs. And I've done the magic loop before, and I always end up with like a line where the tension changes from like moving around all the stitches. That's why I like the shorties, because the test knit goes until the middle of August, so I have time. But yeah, I'm leaning towards just getting the shorties because I think I'll use those going forward if I knit something in a bigger gauge like this again. Yeah, I think I'm probably gonna end up doing that. We'll see. Hey guys, okay. I have finished the body. I still have to do the collar. That is what I'm going to do next. And I have lots and lots of ends to weave in. But I kind of just wanted to try it on. and I think I really like the fit. I know when I block it, it's going to get bigger. But I kind of like just how it fits now, so I don't know, maybe I won't try to block it too much. I'm a little bit iffy on the waistband, um, just because I do kind of have wider hips, so it doesn't just hang. It kind of just like sits on my hips like this. So I'm going to try to stretch out the Italian bind off that I did. Um, but yeah, so I just finished the Italian bind off. I'm really liking these colors, how they look on me. I know this lighter one is like pretty close to my skin tone, but I think having the darker brown for the collar will make that really nice contrast. Um, but yeah, so the sleeves are a little rolled right now, but they're drop shoulder. I feel like they're gonna hit at a pretty good place. So yeah, this is what I have so far. This is size 3. I was debating what to do for the bind off for this ribbing right here because the pattern doesn't specify, it just says to bind off in whatever way you want. So I originally was just going to do like a regular bind off. I don't know if there's a name for it, um, but just like the regular one where you like knit the next stitch and then slip the other one over it and like that bind off. And I did maybe like 10 or so stitches like that, and it had absolutely no stretch. And I was like, I don't need it to stretch that much because it's oversized, but also I didn't want it to be too tight because it's essentially like a crochet chain, so there's like no give at all. So I just sucked it up and did an Italian bind off, which is not my favorite thing to do, but it's done now, and I'm going to do the collar, which is going to be in this color. So yeah, I guess I'll update you guys again when I have the collar done. I look kind of crazy right now, so please excuse the whole hair situation, but I just finished the collar. I was a little bit nervous because you only pick up like 50 something stitches, so I didn't know if it was going to be quite big enough because it did really snatch in the collar. And I was really worried about being able to fit my head through it. But as you can see, I have it on, so I was able to fit my head in it. But yeah, I tried the Jenny's Surprisingly Stretchy Bind Off for the first time, and I think this is actually a very big game changer for me. Yeah, usually I do the Italian bind off, which I hate. I always have to look up how to do it. Once I get started, I'm good, but I never can remember how to start and end it. Um, but yeah, this is like a lot more intuitive to do the Jenny's Surprisingly Stretchy bind off. I'll put a link in the description about where, like, the website I used to watch it and figure out how to do the Surprisingly Stretchy bind off. But yeah, I like the collar. It's double folded. So right here's the bind off. I don't know if you can really see it. Um, but yeah, so it's decently stretchy, which is nice. I don't know how it's gonna work with blocking because it was kind of tight to get over my head, and I think if I was gonna wear this, I would have to like do makeup and hair after putting it on because and like take off my makeup and stuff before taking it off because definitely this would like get that would be a problem with this collar, I think, for now. I don't know if that'll change with blocking, but I do really like where it sits. I did notice because the collar kind of pulls up these stitches, and I don't know if this maybe just needs to go back a little bit. Maybe that fixes it, but sit up a little bit. Like the stitches or the rows kind of like are pulled up in the middle. So I don't know, but that might be fixed with blocking too. This is the first project that I'm actually gonna block. I've only done it with a pair of mittens before, but I'm kind of nervous because I've never blocked wool. So I'm gonna have to get some wool detergent. I also had some more time to think about the sleeve situation if I wanted to do like DPNs, magic loop, or buy shorties, and I ended up buying the shorties this morning because I think they'll just be nice to have going forward if I ever am knitting on a bigger gauge in the future. Then I won't have to worry about it. And then I just have all of the Jiaogu sets. So I have I think I have the 4-inch like standard pack, and then I have the blue, red, and now soon to be yellow shorties. So I just bought them on Amazon. They should be here tomorrow, so I'm hoping I can start the sleeves tomorrow. I'm kind of at a standstill with this for now. Hey guys, I just want to give you an update on my Sable sweater. I have finished the collar, which I think I showed you guys in the last clip. I started on the sleeves, but yeah, the test knit's going really well so far. I picked up stitches for the sleeves, and I'm almost done with the first one. I'll grab it quick. Here she is. Here's the first sleeve. It looks a little bit wonky because when I stopped knitting, I didn't stop at the beginning of round, so ignore like where the needles are and all that. But oh yeah, these are the shorties from Gu in size 10. It's actually disappointing that the large size needles only come in one size, if that makes sense. Like I have the red and blue packs for the mini and smalls, and it comes with 2-inch and 3-inch tips for all of them, and these ones only come with 3-inch tips. And the shortest cable is, I think, 8 inches? No, 6 inches. Because I did the math, and this is 12 inches total. But I think it's gonna work fine because I only have one more set of decreases to do. And then I can do the ribbing, and to do that I'll go down to, I think, a size 6, 5 or 6. So yeah, I'm not really too worried about, not a size 6, size 5. I'm going down to, I think, a size 5 to do the ribbing once I finish this last little section. So the ribbing will be in this darker brown color. But yeah, I have the 2-inch ones for that, and I have really short cables for that, so I think it should be fine. So I just have to decrease this 2 more stitches. So it might be a little bit tight, but it's really the only way that I could do it because I didn't trust myself using deep ends. That's kind of where I'm at with the sleeve. I guess the testing's going well. I don't really have any other updates. Hey guys, okay, please excuse my messy kitchen. I have to clean it, but I just finished. I've woven all the ends, and yeah, I haven't blocked it yet though, but I do have a rack, and it's pretty warm outside, so I think if I do it and I leave it outside, it would probably maybe be blocked by the end of the night. I'm actually like really happy with how it looks right now, but I still, yeah, I'll try it on again after blocking. But I have a couple things that I wanted to tell you guys about this. So I feel like I've done a pretty good job of updating as I've gone. Yeah, and overall I think the pattern's really great. Like there aren't any like structural concerns, at least for me. I feel like this really fits how I want it to. Actually, maybe one. I feel like the collar is kind of tight, and because I don't know if this will change with blocking. We'll see. So yeah, I'll see what happens and I'll update you guys. But I feel like the collar is a little bit tight, like it's kind of hard to pull over my head, but I like how it fits when I have it on. The other thing is that you can see like right here and right here the collar like kind of pulls up the other stripes. So like if it's flat like this, it looks fine. But then I don't know. So I'm gonna try that with blocking. I'm gonna try to stretch out the collar a little bit more if I can. Yeah, I'm gonna, I think, kind of make it so that the sleeves are just straight with the ribbing. Like, I don't know if I want the ribbing to come in. This is all gonna be an experiment because I've never done this before, but yeah. And then the ribbing on the bottom, I'll show you guys right here. I did the Italian bind off, and I think, so for the bottom, I did do an Italian bind off, and I don't know if this is a me thing or if this is like not actually a thing, but like for an Italian bind off, are you supposed to do the like double knit rows before that? Because I think that would make it a lot stretchier, because some patterns I've seen like it has that as the last 2 rows before ribbing, and then you do the Italian bind off, and I'm thinking that would probably be a lot stretchier because this bind off is not very stretchy, like at all. Like, so I think that's probably my mistake. This is probably a little bit crooked. But yeah, so that's on me. But at least I've learned that from this project. So going forward, I will know that. However, I don't think I will do an Italian bind off because for the sleeves right here, I did Jenny's surprisingly stretchy bind off, and I honestly way prefer how this looks. It doesn't like pull apart the ribbing stitches is in one by one, and I'm pretty sure you could do the Jenny's surprisingly stretchy bind off even if it's like a 2x2 knit or 2x2 rib, which I know you can't do the Italian bind off for. I think that's what I've been told at least. But if you look like the ribbing here, I don't know, I think that looks so much neater than this. I don't know. That's just my personal preference. But oh, another thing that I should mention is that for the sleeves, so this is the darker brown is 18 stitches, and then this is 12 or 18 rows, and then the lighter color is 12 rows. Which I did do that, except for some reason I convinced myself that it was 16 when I was doing the sleeves. So I don't remember which sleeve I did first. Whichever one I did first though, this middle brown stripe was, I did it 16 rows instead of 18. And I didn't realize it until I got to about the same point on the other sleeve. And so like I had done like this whole part and then this and all the ribbing, and I really didn't feel like taking it back out. Plus, I feel like it's not really noticeable. Like to fix that, well, I didn't really fix it. I just did the same thing on the other sleeve. So these stripes are both 16 instead of 18 rows, and I think it's fine. So that's, yeah, I don't want to go back and fix it. It doesn't really bother me. Normally it would, but you literally can't tell. And I did on both sleeves, so it's symmetrical. But yeah, so I'm going to attempt to block this. I'll show you guys like when I do block it. Hey guys, it's done. I really like it. One thing, and I'm pretty sure this is just because I did a size that is like too big, because this is quite oversized. I don't remember how much positive beads it's supposed to have, but I did do a size larger. So this is like quite oversized on me, but I really like where the drop shoulder's lying. The only thing is that because it's striped and because I did a size that is like a little more oversized than it's intended to be, the stripes don't really line up. They're supposed to be like this. So even if I kind of like pull this down a little bit, it makes it a little bit better, but they kind of like alternate. But I don't know, it doesn't really bother me. I think it's really cute. And I'm really excited to wear it for fall. It's really comfy. I just blocked it my first time like really blocking something, and I think it went really well. I'll put like a picture in here because I posted on my Instagram story the water when I was blocking it, and it was actually really gross and brown. And I'm sure it's just the dye from the wool, but I like how long the sleeves are. They're really long. But yeah, I'm just thinking if I had wider shoulders, this would probably fit differently. I might have my fiance try it on and show you like what it looks like on him, because he has like broader shoulders than I do. But yeah, stretching out the ribbing at the bottom. I wish that I had done the Italian bind off like the right way, or done like the Jenny's surprisingly stretchy bind off, but it just kind of like drapes, which is really nice. It's just like a little bit tight at the bottom because like I did the bind off wrong, so it's not very stretchy, but I do like it. And if I have the energy at some point, I might go back and redo it with the surprisingly stretchy bind off. However, I'm probably not gonna end up doing that. But I do have a lot of yarn left over, so I'm going later to my dad's house for dinner, and I'm gonna bring this and take pictures. I'm gonna have my fiance take some pictures of me, and I'm gonna post those on my Instagram. And I want like some really cute like final pictures for the test knit, because I have to send those to Liv. and then I have to fill out a survey for the test knit. But yeah, this is actually really cute. This is I don't know. I like the yarn that I used because it's light. Like, I wouldn't hang this on a hanger still. I posted like some pictures of it on a hanger, but just because the stitches like up here, they're a little bit wider, and that's because the yarn that I used was the Knitting for Olive Heavy Merino, which is a worsted weight, and the pattern, it's not the recommended yarn for the pattern. I'll put it like on the screen, but it's like Newtiden. It's not an American brand, obviously, and it's like an unspun yarn, and it's more of an Aran weight, and I didn't have that. And also I couldn't really find it when I was trying to buy yarn for the test knit. It makes me really excited to be able to wear this for the winter and the fall. I think it's really cute, and I've had like a lot of family members tell me that they're like really impressed with it and that it's really cute and all that, so I'm really excited to kind of like wear it around them and show them the final product because they've been keeping tabs on it. But yeah, if I can, I'll record a little bit of my fiance taking some pictures of me in this. But yeah, it's a really sunny day outside, so I think like taking some pictures outside would be really cute. This is actually like cute, this outfit.
Yeah, it does actually really cute.
Okay, so guys, so in the sun. Should I be like fully in the sun? Like I'm gonna kind of like, I don't know, you just take a bunch of pictures and like tell me like what looks good. Okay. I trust your vision. Tell me if you want me to like pose differently.
Oh, you look gorgeous. Wait, I'm gonna do it from this way because then
Oh, your shadow?
oh yeah, it looks good.
Okay. Can I see this?
Yeah, oh, you look so good. You're so good at that.
You actually really cute pictures. Oh, that's cute. Do you have any good ones of the front? I mean, like facing the camera. Oh, oh, that's so cute. Okay.
Oh, yeah, I like these.
Oh, those are cute. Oh, I really like that. I really, really like those. Wait, those are so good. Okay, we're gonna move the camera. No, 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 no. We're vlogging. Say hi to my fiance. I keep forgetting that we're fiancés now. Is this his car? I'm not gonna show the license plate. I'm probably gonna cut this out of the video completely. Okay, so this can go right there.
Where's my pizza?
Yeah, you can do that.
No, that's good. That's all good.
So kind of like the same pictures here, like.
Good.
Get some of me like, I don't know, tell me like different people.
Yeah.
Should I like other clothes? If you do something up close with just a sweater.
Yeah.
Maybe like some of that.
Look good.
Maybe a couple more. Actually, no, I want to take some of just the sweater. Maybe in the grass where the sun's shining.
Okay. You want to do it like right there where it gets like a little bit of a beam and then a little bit of shadow?
Oh, that would be cool. Yeah, I always think it would be cool to have something where the light's like fractured. Neckline's definitely a lot looser. I like that.
Do it right there, right there.
I didn't sew the collar down, so I had to keep folding it. Because I have an option to make it like a turtleneck if I wanted to. Also, it doesn't come on folded really, so.
You're so good at that. Oh my gosh.
The hiring shit is like a little bit, Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm sure it's been a really long one, but I had so much fun doing this test knit. I know I've shared my thoughts throughout the whole process and the whole video, but yeah, I would totally do it again. I really, really like how the final product turned out. The neckline did loosen up a little bit like I was hoping, and just like all over it really loosened up, and it's really drapey, and yeah, I'm just super happy with it. I would definitely make this again. It didn't take that long. I think I made it in about 2 weeks, because pretty much exactly a month ago I ordered the yarn. It took 2 weeks to come in, so like 2 to 3 weeks to make this, and that was like just casually knitting it. So yeah, I feel like that's kind of like an average pace for me, but it was fairly quick. And so if you want to make this for your fall wardrobe, I would highly recommend it. Just in case I didn't share the colors, this darker color is Brown Bear, and then this is Oatmeal from Knitting for Olive Heavy Merino. And yeah, the test knit ends August 12th, so I don't know if there's a specific day that this pattern is coming out, but it will be coming out very soon. And you guys should definitely follow Liv Alvin or @AlvinKnit on Instagram, because I'm sure she'll be posting about it when that is released. But yeah, definitely check out the pattern. It's really, really cute for fall, or even spring, depending on like the colors you want to make. You could do like Christmas colors or something. It's a very versatile pattern and it's really cute. I really like it. It's super comfy, super warm. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope that I get to see you in another video. Bye.